Welcome back to the Gamescom Best of Show Awards. Every year, thousands of new games get released worldwide across a variety of platforms and devices. And it's not slowing down anytime soon. This is great news for gamers, but bad news for our backlogs. For our next category, we turn the voting over to you, the gamers. And here are the nominees for your most wanted new game. Of the Gamescom 2020 Most Wanted Award is Cyberpunk 2077. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. CD PROJEKT RED have already set a high bar, and Cyberpunk looks like it just might be their best game yet. Congratulations to CD PROJEKT RED.
Thank you so much for voting us with Cyberpunk 2077 to be the most wanted game of Gamescom 2020. It's been quite a journey, right? We've announced Cyberpunk quite a while ago, all the way back in 2013, if I recall correctly. And now we're this short before releasing it. And we can't wait for you all to get your hands on it and finally be able to dive into Night City yourself.
And joining me now is none other than Bruce Greene. Hey, Bruce.
Oh my gosh, Sid, it is so good to see a friendly face. It has been so long since we've seen each other.
It really has. Speaking of things that are taking so long, Cyberpunk 2077 won Most Wanted Game.
I think for the longest time when I was reporting on Inside Gaming, this was 7 years ago, we were talking about how the game may come out in 2018, it may come out in 2022. So I think we're getting a little lucky here, getting it in 2020.
Yeah, this is like, technically, I mean, since when it's ready is kind of infinity, we're actually, it's coming out early, kind of.
That's right, yes, no, absolutely. I mean, we've had those 2 delays, right? We got delayed in, it was supposed to be in April, then it was in September, and now it's in November. Do we think the game is actually coming out in November? Sid, do you think so?
I was gonna ask that, but I didn't want to curse this. I think that given the circumstances of the pandemic and all this stuff, I would be very understanding if they had to push it for polish. I think in general, most players, I would hope, would be understanding of the fact that times are weird. I'm sure it's difficult to judge a timeline for a game in a situation that has never happened before. However,
absolutely.
I'm hoping it doesn't get pushed. What about you?
I'm kind of the same way. It's funny because if the game had come out in April, it would have been the savior of quarantine for everybody, right?
Oh, Bruce, don't even say that. I didn't even think about that.
But, good news, Sid, we're still in quarantine. So we could actually, it could still be the savior of quarantine, just a little bit late. It'll be the savior of holidays and the savior of the new year, and it'll be what everybody looks forward to for 2021. So.
Perfect. No, I love that spin. But I mean, there's a reason why people are so excited for this game, right? I mean, they've shown us tons of trailers. We're excited about that. But CD PROJEKT RED as a developer, I mean, one of the highest caliber developers out there.
Yes.
What are you hoping that they bring from The Witcher 3 into Cyberpunk?
Gosh, I mean, that's such a good question. It's one of those games. If you look back on the Witcher series, obviously they're highly acclaimed, and The Witcher 3 is probably one of the greatest games of all time. I want to see the RPG elements from The Witcher 3 because that was what I think made The Witcher 3 such an amazing game, was the fact that you could go anywhere, do anything. Yes, you were Geralt, but you were building your own character, you were building your own narrative inside this giant game world. There's so much to say about The Witcher 3, but I do want to see the RPG elements, and that's what CD PROJEKT RED is the best at. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. When you said, I'm burning myself here, I actually don't know how to say Geralt correctly. I don't even know. Did I
don't either. I always say Geralt, but is that wrong? I don't. Geralt? I mean, it could be anything. We have to go back to the Henry Cavill pronunciation. Does he ever say his name in the television show? Because I obviously, who doesn't trust Henry Cavill, right? So I trust Henry Cavill.
Bruce, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been a ton of fun. Now, let's check out what Akeem's up to with another award.